Welcome to the Realizations Podcast. I'm Andrea Gordon, your host, and I'm excited to explore the world of real estate with you. In a world where perceptions often overshadow reality, Realizations seeks to redefine what it means to be a realtor. Join me as we peel back the layers of the industry, uncovering inspiring stories and celebrating the good in real estate. Whether you're a homeowner, a fellow realtor, or simply curious, this podcast is for you. Welcome to Realizations, where perceptions meet reality. Let's dive right in. Welcome to Realizations. This is the podcast where I talk about real estate and I bring on people from different parts of real estate life. And today is particularly exciting for me because the incredible CEO and the creator of my company, Compass, Robert Reffkin, is on with us today. Thank you so much for being here, Robert. I'm so pleased. All right, well, I'm going to get right into it. I had a few questions for you. Out of curiosity, why did you pick the name Compass?
Good question. So we were thinking of all kinds of names, and we had all kinds of funny names. I think Rango, because I watched the show, the cartoon Rango. I was like, Rango. But none of them were good. And then one of the founding team members just looked down at a compass that was in his house and said, "What about Compass?" And it's helping you find the place that you're trying to go. And obviously, what our business is helping someone through a very challenging time to navigate, help them from where they are to where they're trying to go. And we thought that made just perfect sense.
Very cool. Very, very cool. And also, you've been through a variety of worlds in your life. I mean, you started out in Berkeley, California, where I'm from. You have been a marathon runner. You ran all these incredible races when you were younger for charity. You ended up working both at the White House and you also ended up working in finance. How did you find your way to real estate? What caused you to get here?
Well, my mom has been an agent her entire life. The first a little bit less than half was as a life insurance agent in the East Bay. And then the second half was as a real estate agent. And so we actually worked together a little bit when I was in college. And I just grew at a young age a tremendous amount of respect for the entrepreneurial journey of the real estate agent profession. And I saw my mom move from firm to firm, hoping that she would get more tools, more support to realize success, and she didn't get what she was looking for. And so I thought we could build a company that could better support agents to grow their business, better serve their clients, more tools, support, programs, offerings to better do the job.
Which it really does. I'm a veteran of many, many different real estate companies, as you know, and Compass is the best. It just is on every level. And, a large part of that is you and the principles behind the company. I see the poster behind you that has all 8 principles on it. How did that come to be and what are they?
Yeah, the 8 Compass principles of entrepreneurship. There was a moment where someone said, "Hey, we need to create what is our culture? What is our vision? Would people know what Compass stands for?" And I never really wanted to create what do you call like the company principles on the wall. It just felt not genuine and sincere. And then I thought, look, if we're going to do this, let's make it really authentic and not company principles or what about the Compass entrepreneurship principles? Because we're a company of entrepreneurs that serve entrepreneurs. To help their clients with something that's a real entrepreneurial journey. Moving companies is something that is an entrepreneurial event, particularly if you're moving across cities or states or countries, right? And so we created the 8 entrepreneurship principles. These are things that I saw. So I looked at things in my life, that helped Compass. Attributes that helped me be successful or deal with challenges, things that helped Compass, and things that helped agents. that I saw, like, and I looked at the best agents that we have and what are some of the commonalities from an entrepreneurial perspective. And so number one, dream big. Your dreams are the cap to your potential. You're never going to be bigger than your dreams. So you might as well dream big. Two was move fast. And if you get a phone call from a client, respond quickly. If you're helping your client buy a home and you see a new listing, go there quickly. But moving slow will reduce opportunity. Moving fast will increase it. Three, learn from reality. The greatest advantage you have in life is the speed at which you learn. So you have to learn fast. How do you learn fast? Look to your left, look to your right at proven models of success, and be the fastest integrator of great ideas, not the first person to like generate a new one. Four, be solutions driven. I think that's pretty obvious. Then obsess about opportunity. That's also pretty obvious. Collaborate without ego, which is, I think, the favorite of Compass. The ego can be the killer of dreams, and potential. And ego is can you accept feedback from others without taking it personally? Then seven, maximize your strengths. A lot of people, I think, go to sleep every night thinking about what they did wrong that day. I was like that for the majority of my life. I did this wrong, that wrong, that wrong, as opposed to thinking about what they're great at. And so instead of thinking about your failures, think about your successes. Minimize your weaknesses and maximize your strengths. Don't try to make your strengths try to make your strengths a superpower. Don't try to make your weaknesses a strength. And then lastly, bounce back with passion, which I think is the most required. It is the most required attribute of an entrepreneur. Because by definition, of being an entrepreneur, you're gonna have a lot of bumps in the road. And for the real estate profession, for every yes, there's dozens of no's. And so you need to know how to bounce back. And for me, how do you bounce back? And I know this is your personality because I know you well, is you have a hard time, you just have it. The things that working is like, you know what? Next year's gonna be better. And you just you bounce, you have a new dream, like you just bounce forward. You know what? And then that excitement keeps you moving. So it's an entrepreneurial journey.
Yep, absolutely. Well, they're beautiful principles and I live by them. I was living by them before I knew you. And it was just incredibly kismet that was what the basis of the ideas behind this company. I also think that you've had the incredible balance of having a really strong woman in your mom and also in your gorgeous, amazing wife, Benice. I had the great pleasure of having dinner with her when she was out in California one time, and she's just a lovely, amazing, vital human being. And I love how you have set yourself up with really strong women around you. And that's one of the other things I love about Compass. Was that intentional or is it just how you roll?
It's a very, very interesting question. I think so. My mom was a single mother, also immigrant. So you got immigrant strength.
Yeah.
And she was disowned from her parents because she was Israeli for African American. My father was African American, and she didn't give up. She didn't quit. She didn't like sit in a corner. She said, well, she had to also. Like she had I'm gonna figure it out. And so I've seen her always as like, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna make it happen. Always dreaming big. And I think because of her, I've always been very drawn towards strong women leaders. And this profession, as you know, is the largest industry dominated by women.
Absolutely.
And so it's for me to be, for me, agents are my clients. I work for agents, not the other way around. And so for me to be in service of their success is the most cool thing for me.
I love that. I love that. I love your mom too. She's awesome. When you are thinking about real estate and you have, you've been sort of a leader, for a very long time at this point in real estate. And I know that there are a lot of challenges that we've all faced as a whole group in the most recent past. And I know that you've been spearheading kind of creating a conversation around clear cooperation. What motivated you to do that, and how are you doing with that?
Look, I'll be, what motivated to me to do it is my Berkeley roots.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is when things aren't right, you have to stand up against it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I went to San Francisco University High School, and like someone had to use, you have to use the N word back then when you read a book. And I like wrote this big thing in school, and like they wanted, it was a huge deal. And they wouldn't write about it. And then we had like, but like I stood up. Um, and I basically passed out all these newsletters. They wouldn't put in the Uni Times, so I called it contraband. And I printed it anyway, passed out to anyone. I went back to school, 5 years later after I graduated, and they have a contraband wall where anyone can write anything of how they feel, and that made me very happy.
Great.
But what is
Great.
happening right now is wrong,
Mm-hmm.
very wrong.
Yep.
They call it clear cooperation. Is it clear to every homeowner in the country that they're forced to give the MLS their listing so the MLS can monetize it? And it's
No.
clear that there's the three-way agreement. That means that in order for an agent to do their job, you have to be a member of the MLS. But to be a member of the MLS, you have to be in all but 4 states. You have to be a realtor, which means you have to pay NAR. In order to be a realtor, there's a three-way agreement. So you have to pay both the state association, local association. It's all money.
Right.
And then they hide behind words like the fair marketplace, transparency. They use historical Black discrimination, fair housing to maintain their power. It's an industry of all white MLS CEOs using historical Black discrimination to maintain power.
Yep.
They have heads of marketing in the MLSs
I know.
they're trying to create narratives to maintain their power through clear cooperation. And so, look, it's very simply, I believe that you should not be forced to do something you don't want to do. It's just that simple.
Yep.
And they're not the government. NAR isn't the government, and the MLS is not the government. They're not elected officials. It's a self-interested trade group that makes hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars a year.
Yep. I'm well aware.
NAR had $750 million of net assets, cash. California Association of Realtors has $106 million. There's money everywhere. And California Association of Realtors has what do you call it? They invest in companies with your excess dues. And so I think it's for a homeowner, your home, your choice. You should just be able to decide how you market it. Now, the builders, every real estate developer, every real estate home builder, they're carved out of clear cooperation. They can market however they want.
I know.
What is the rationale for forcing every individual homeowner, but not the real estate developers and the home builders? Let me know. That's another question. Why is it that an agent can't put a watermark on their own photo, and they put in the MLS and the MLS watermarks it? Why is it that an agent can, in their listing description, say, hey, I'm the real listing agent. If you want to learn more about the property, contact me. They'll take it down. Why is it that if an agent has a video of the property and they put their head in for 1 second, they take it down? I could go on and on and on because I know this topic too well. It's just not right.
Well, very cool. Very, very cool. I really appreciate it. And I'm being mindful of your time here because I know you have another big, important meeting to get to.
This is very important. You're very important. I appreciate being here.
Thank you. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. You have literally changed my life. And it makes me want to cry. So when you're thinking about real estate and where it's moving in the next 5 years, where do you see Compass in 5 years? Where do you see the world of real estate in 5 years?
It's a good question. See where I want to see it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to see the real estate profession elevated in the world. I want to see people graduate the best colleges and say, I want to go into real estate. You get to work outside, you're creative, you are helping people with one of the most important transactions in their life. You're building a business. Just again, your hard work, your creativity, your talent, your sphere of influence. You create a real business that really matters. I want agents at Compass to feel like everything they need, Compass provides. That, of course, they're not forced to do things they don't want to do by a trade group. And that's just that side. I want their clients to say, you're a miracle worker. And one of our agents said, a client told them that in Philadelphia when I was there last week. I loved that. I want our agents to have that sense of pride. Because remember, like you and my mom, like you're all, I think of my mom, what makes a great agent is you care so much about other people. They actually care more about them than yourself. And that's why you do so well for them. And that's why they refer you to all their clients, all their friends, more clients. So this beautiful profession of people like yourself and my mom who care so much about others, like I want you to feel the dignity and respect and value that I see in you. So that's kind of what, I guess, us versus the agent. Just basically give them everything. I want Compass to be a Disneyland of opportunity for agents. And then for the community, we're relaunching Compass Cares. I would love for Compass to be able to give back more to the community than any other company. I went through 6 nonprofits in the Bay Area that helped. Without any of them, any one of them, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. But it's just me and my mom, so they helped give us the more support that my mom couldn't when she was working. And so I think we're an interesting community of people because a lot of companies just give money. Money's money. But we have a community of people that want to give time as well. We live in the communities. We sell the communities. They really matter. And so I'm excited as the market real estate comes back. Thrive in 25. That's the head. Thrive in 25.
Love it.
I really want to figure out how we can make a bigger impact on the communities that we live in.
Most excellent. Well, I will think about that when I'm at the ribbon cutting on Saturday for the Berkeley Humane Society, which is in my space at 2644 Ashby. So
I love that. And I got to tell you, so I guess we have Berkeley Community here. What broke my heart, which was the homemade cafe closing.
I know.
It was, in my opinion, the best breakfast restaurant in the country I've ever been in. And you know what they said, which I'm sure you saw what they wrote.
Yeah.
They wrote that something along the lines of, in today's day and age, it's just becoming too difficult with the cost of food to serve really high quality food at a price that works. But as you know, I was really hoping, and I don't know, in my mind, I thought like a bunch of successful people would come by and make it work for them. Because it's such a staple, such a wonderful place.
I know. There's so many. You go down the street in Berkeley on Shattuck, and it's like becoming a canyon. It's going to look like New York City in a few years. I don't know if you've been there to see all of the new development, but it's just crazy. All the old movie theaters are gone. All of the they're building apartment after apartment after apartment after apartment building, dorm for the university after dorm after dorm. Yeah. It's becoming quite the canyon there. And but I think that Berkeley will survive in its whole sense of ideology and how we are as people here, because we're just a bunch of rugged iconoclasts. We can't help it. Anyway, Robert, you are wonderful. Thank you so much for your time today. You're a love. And I look forward to seeing you the next time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. Be well. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Realizations Podcast. I hope our conversation has shed light on the true essence of real estate and the people behind it. As we wrap up, I want to extend my gratitude to our listeners for their support and engagement. Your feedback drives the heart of this podcast, and I look forward to continuing this journey with you. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider subscribing to the Realizations podcast and leaving a review. Your support helps us reach more listeners and spread our message of positivity in the real estate industry. Until next time, remember to keep an open mind, embrace empathy, and always seek the good in every situation. I'm Andrea Gordon signing off from Realizations. See you next time.